What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? I can see some people are coming in, joining us. I'll give you some time to come on the stream and join us. Share with everybody. Tell them we are streaming live. Tell them we are streaming live. Share. Share with everybody and tell them that we are streaming live. We are talking investments. We are talking trading. We are talking wealth. We're talking all those things. Basically, we are talking money tonight. We're talking about money tonight. So come on, guys, share the broadcast to as many people as you can. I'm just going to give you a few minutes for you guys to come on and join us live, okay? All right. I see you, Daniel. I see you. Mzamo, I see you. Let's share the broadcast. I'll start in a few minutes. Just waiting for a few minutes. We've got 30 people in. Let's get those people coming in, guys, so that we can talk about things that do matter in life, your finances. Just gonna talk about your finances. How are you guys been doing, eh? You guys been all right? Just send me some messages and let me know if you guys are being all right. I see you guys. Put my phone on silent. Any of you been investing in the markets, regardless of what kind of markets are they? Be it Forex, be it stocks, be it crypto. How is that going for you? I see you, Ref. I see you, Ref, my friend. It's been a while. All right, guys. I'm gonna quickly start so that I don't waste your time. Appreciate you for the time that you guys are showing for joining our broadcast this evening. Like I said, the topic is going to be simple. We're just going to be talking about investments. We're going to be talking about money. And we're going to be talking generally money management, how to manage your finances. I won't touch quite a lot on that, but the biggest thing we're going to be speaking about is when to take advantage of the market when everybody else is pulling away from the markets, or they are fearful in the markets, or maybe there's bad news in the markets. We all know that if you have been in the markets for a while, we all know that markets are pushed by a lot of factors. Markets are pushed by a lot of factors, mainly being the news. Hence, there's always the people that are saying that you must wait for the bad news so that you can come in and buy when everybody else is panicking, right? So I hope my broadcast is okay. I hope I'm not too lagging and I hope that it's smooth. I was trying to look at my other screen to see if the broadcast is on and it's not lagging. Hold on. Trying to look at my other screen to see if the broadcast is on and it's not lagging. Hold on. Trying to mute my other screen. Okay. Here we go. All right, guys. So in case you don't know me or you've never heard of my name is Tibusa. Here we go. All right, guys. Hold on. My name is Tibusa. I've been investing in the markets for the last 7 years, going into 7 years this year. And I started out as a Forex trader. I was really bad at it in the beginning. I had no idea what in the world I was doing. So I had a lot of people that I was looking up to, trying to figure out how to trade these markets, right? I was trying to figure out how to trade these markets. And during my years of starting out in 2016, early 2016, I was in a bad space in terms of finances, and I was trying to look out for other revenues that I can tap into just to boost myself financially. And I saw a post, or a friend of mine saw this post, I can't really remember, and he said that there was a seminar happening in Sandton where they will be talking about Forex in general, right? So here I was in a bad space financially. I went to this seminar in Sandton, a nice, well-dressed young man, well-spoken, was sharing about the financial markets, right? We were about roughly 500 people in that building in Sandton Convention Center. About 500 people that were in that building, and this young man who was in his early 20s came through, dressed very nicely, spoke sharply. He knew all the codes, he knew all the things, what to say. I could relate to what he was saying because some of the codes that he was saying were codes that were from the books that I have read that deals with finances and investment and money. Because I've always been an investor. At that time, I just was not a full-time investor. So I always bought shares and stocks whenever there was an opportunity to do so. Back in 2012, back in 2000, and I can't even remember, 2007, 8, 9, around those years, I was buying Sasol shares, I was buying MTN shares, I was buying MultiChoice. I was buying a few shares when I did not know what I was doing, because I was doing it via the brokers that were assigned to those particular shares. So I think it was Computer Shares at that time. It was called Computer Shares. They were somewhere in Johannesburg on Market Street, if I'm not mistaken. So I used to buy shares. Basically, I was taught also by my mom how to do those things when I was at a very young age. So my mom used to help me out with that. So I was always curious about the markets, even though I did not know how to invest. So 2016, tried to go into Forex. They taught me things that I later found out that these things were on free websites like Baby Pips. Basically, I was taught nothing. But I went on and searched for other mentors that could help me out. And eventually, when I started thinking to myself, why don't I put time into this? Why don't I invest in myself, find people that are really doing well, that I can ask them to teach me and pay for those teachings? That's what I did. And I got good people teaching me there and there. It was good people there and there. And then I was also learning by myself how to trade the financial markets. Eventually, it took me about 2 years to be profitable. Then I started seeing some profits. Then I started identifying what kind of an investor or what kind of a trader I am. Because if you're going to go into investment, or if you're going to go into trading, you need to be able to know what kind of a trader you are. So it took me quite a long time to realize that I do not like the stress of being glued to my computer, waiting for the markets to open and waiting for some analysis to go through and trying all different kinds from different people that people were talking about out there. And then I'm in and out, I'm sniping the markets, So that wasn't me. It gave me stress rather than giving me freedom, right? Therefore, I moved into becoming a swing trader. So swing trading is I was analyzing my charts on a daily chart, monthly chart, and a daily chart. I was looking for good opportunities to come in during those times. And if I find that there was a good opportunity or a setup that I've been waiting for, then I would come into that setup and I will hold the trade for a few weeks. I will hold the trade for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, even 6 weeks. Then I found that I had eliminated a lot of stress. All I needed to do was to come in at the lowest point as I can, have my stop loss in place, and then I would let go and leave the markets. Every day, once a day, I will check where we are in the markets and what we are doing. And to this day, it's still the same thing that I apply. Not knowing that doing that and finding myself and what works for me, it is something that was going to help me when I got into cryptocurrency. So right now, I am a full-time cryptocurrency investor. Because I learned the markets, I learned about Forex. So every now and then when I see good opportunities, I will take them into the Forex market, right? But I am a full-time crypto investor. And I'm not talking about investing today and expecting to make money in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that. My students, they know, if they are here, they will tell you that we do not invest expecting to make money in a year or 2 or even 3 years. Our portfolio investments or our timeline when we invest, it's anything between 4 years going forward. But we know that at some point, then we need to take some profits when the markets, they dip, right? Or when the markets crash, if I can call it that way. Okay. So I then found out that having being a person that generally is not patient, but I found out that in the markets, if you really, really want to make good money, you need to be patient. Sometimes I used to wait for a month or 5 months for a setup to come through. I was watching gold recently. I've been watching gold for months, right? Because I knew that something was happening with the dollar. I knew that the markets have been going down. Where if you are in crypto, you know that the markets have been on a decline since November last year, right? And then we know that the dollar has been increasing and increasing highly ever since then. We know that inflation is very high right now in the United States. We know that after COVID, they had to pump a lot of money. They had to print a lot of money and pump this money into some investments for the country to try to stabilize the country. So we know that there's a bubble that's happening right now in America, which is that inflation. Inflation in America, it has reached the highs of 1985. The highs of 1985 right now. The last time we saw the levels that we are seeing today in the United States, inflation was last in 1985, 1984, when I was a little bambino, still wearing nappies, right? So we know that things like those are giving us an indication that there is a bubble that is happening right now. At some point, the bubble needs to pop. The dollar cannot continue going up all the time. The beauty about being a long-term investor is that I can be watching it for a year. I can be watching it for months. I can be watching it for weeks, not knowing exactly when the bubble will pop, right? So we saw that the dollar has been going exponentially high. It's been going very high. And a lot of markets have been on a decline, including crypto, including the stock market. The S&P 500 in the United States, I'm going to show you some charts later on. I just wanted to do this intro. The S&P 500, which is top 500 companies that are listed on the New York Stock Exchange or American Stock Exchange, we saw a huge decline that have been doing so. And we know that even South African Stock Exchange, we see that there is also has been a decline, because somehow now things are correlated with American Stock Exchange. That's why I always concentrate on the American Stock Exchange. I do so also because I own no rands. I do so because I own no rands. You know, I did a post the other day and I said that I do not have rands. If you've got connection to look into people's accounts and you look at my account, you're gonna say this brother is broke. This brother is broke, because I do not own rands. Why should I own a currency that is constantly going down? Why should I own a currency that its buying power is constantly going down? Why should I own a currency that I used to pay 8 rands for a food? I used to pay 8 rands per liter for petrol in 2022 when I started driving, and now I'm paying 20 rands for petrol. Used to buy bread with 5 rands, and now I'm buying bread with 20 rands. Here's a problem with inflation, and here's a problem with what's happening around the world, especially in African countries and especially in our country right now, is that a lot of people are employed. The majority are employed anyway. Majority of people are employed, right? These people, some of them don't get any increase from their workplace. The dollar, the rand keeps dropping, inflation goes high, the price of food goes high, the price of fuel goes high, but people still earning the same amount of money. Now, there's a problem with that. Then the government says that we're going to give you guys a relief of 350 rands. 350 rands today can't buy you squat, cannot buy you anything. So the sooner people look for alternative ways of making money, the better they will become. Because if you depend on the government to come to your aid, then you're going to find yourselves that you're not going to be in a good place. Because the government will give you the same rent that they are pumping, the same rent that inflation is eating up, the same rent that things are going up, but you no longer can afford. A lot of people cannot afford anymore to buy anything. Be a house, be a working class, cannot afford anything anymore. People have to go back. We are actually going back as a country. We've got load shedding and we've got all these things that are happening. People are now going back. People are parking their cars and they are forming lift clubs, going back in Texas because the price of fuel is too crazy. So if you do not have an alternative income in these times, then surely you are in trouble. Surely you are in trouble. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about people like Warren Buffett, people like Robert Kiyosaki, people that understood a change in direction, people that understood how to tap into markets when there is a lot of uncertainty in the market, or when there's about to be a change in the market and people are coming in. Warren Buffett, I was watching one of his interviews, and he was saying that when he buys a stock or when he buys into a company, he doesn't look at what the company is valued today. He will do a research of that particular company. He will pull out whatever that is available for the public to pull out, financial records, financial statements, and financial, and operations and how that company is operating. Then he will make a prediction that this is what I think this company is worth. If he thinks that a company is worth $500 million, and at that particular time, the stock exchange says this company is worth $5 million, then he says that this company is valued at $500 million, and I'm going to invest into this company. He's not investing in what the price is on that particular day. He's investing at what the price will be in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. right? So that's how you make an investment, right? So if you are in stock, if you are doing stocks, you know that you have to do your research about the company that you want to buy your shares into. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the trend, when the trend is changing, because the people that are left behind are people that do not want to follow the trend. When the trend is changing, you need to know that I need to position myself so that I can gain in, or I can have an advantage few years later, right? So when you want to invest into a company, you have to do your research. You have to do your research. You need to know what that company is doing, right? Who's owning that company? Who are the board of directors of that company? What is the plan of this company? What is their projections? What is their roadmap? What are they trying to do? What solution are they actually solving? And once you do that, then you do your own analysis to find out that, hey, I think this company is going to be worth something in the future, right? I'll give you an example. Capitec. Capitec, they came into the market with something that people needed, low-cost loans, if I can call it that way. Capitec, their business was giving out loans, right? And they were targeting low to middle class people, people that could not afford to get loans from other big banks, the 4 big banks at that time, the top 4 or the big 4 banks at that time, right? Capitec came through and said, this is our target market. Our target market is low to middle class income earners. And we want to give them loans in better interest, with better interest, the repayment interest, so that they don't pay too much of any interest, right? They started establishing themselves. It was a trend in the market. It was a change in the market. There's people that analyze things. When they saw that Capitec is going in the right direction, when they saw that Capitec is going to be well, they bought Capitec, or the stock or the shares of Capitec, right? So you need to be understanding where we are going in the trend. Right now, we are in the digital age, the 4th industrial revolution, where everything has been digitalized. So why shouldn't you buy Time Bank? Why shouldn't you buy stocks from Time Bank? Because when they came through, they made it clear that we are going to be a digital bank. We are not going to be renting offices and paying fees and paying that and paying that. Everything that we're going to be doing is going to be digital. So why not buy the African Rainbow? What are they called? AIC or AIG? I can't remember. that owns Capitec. I mean, that owns Time Bank, right? So that's how I analyze the market. That's how I look at things. I look at Time Bank and I say, I think Time Bank is going somewhere. In the next few years, 20 years from now, nobody wants to go into a bank. Nobody wants to go into a bank. I went into a bank on Tuesday. I wanted to open a business account on Tuesday, and I went into one of the big banks, and I'm surprised that till today, I cannot open a bank account digitally and finish everything. Some you can, but other banks, they don't allow you. They'll call you, they'll ask who's the directors of the company, they'll do a credit check on you, and then they'll say, book an appointment and go into the branch to sign papers. Why can't I do it online? Why can't I do it online? Why can't they verify everything online? Why can't they have a facial recognition software? It's not a new thing that they need to invent. Why can't they have the facial recognition software? We have that in cryptocurrency. In crypto, we have that. When you want to sign up with an exchange, that you want to be able to buy cryptos in that exchange, right? So you go through verification process. You will sign up. They'll request you to send your FICA documents, which is your ID, proof of address. They'll even do a facial recognition software where you have to take your phone and you turn on the front camera, the selfie camera, and you have to move your face around. You have to move your face around, just like you do with Apple when you are setting up your facial recognition on Apple phones. Why can't the banks do that? But there's going to be a trend. There's a trend already that is taking place. We know that Time Bank is starting to go through those processes. So why shouldn't I buy Time Bank? I'm not buying Time Bank today, looking at the price today. When I bought TymeBank, it was trading at about 3 rands. It was trading at about 3 rands, if I'm not mistaken, right? When I bought it. And I'm not buying it because I'm looking into that. Imagine if that 3 rands, imagine if one share is worth 250 in the future. Imagine I bought with 10,000 rands. Imagine I bought with 100,000 rands. What's going to happen to my share? This is what we need to start looking into. We need to start looking at tomorrow. Let's not look at the flashy guys on social media that are living a fake life, right? Stop looking at the flashy guys on social media that are living a fake life, showing you big houses, showing you Lamborghinis, showing you. I mean, that's what happened when I was into Forex back in 2016. There were guys that were showing all these leveraging lifestyles. You look at them today, some of them have no followers. Some of them have been in jail because they defrauded people. Some of them have been going to court all this time. So do not rush to have money. Have the correct principles. Have the correct background, if I can call it that way. Then you're going to see yourselves having quite a lot of money in the future. So what you do today is what you want to receive in the future. That's exactly what you want to do. So people, going back to Warren Buffett and Robert Kiyosaki, let's now discuss how to time the market or how to buy into the market, right? So people like Robert Kiyosaki, I like Robert Kiyosaki. I read his book. First time I read his book was back in 2005. It was back in 2005 when I was reading The Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's a book that I can still read today, and it is still relevant. People like Napoleon Hill, when I read those books back in 2005, 2006, right? So those were people that I was looking at. Think rich and grow rich. You have to think it, and then so that you can grow it. But the things that he mentions in that book are very powerful things, right? So Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, these are guys that understood when there is a market meltdown, or when there is a global recession, or when there is a global meltdown. I want to show you quickly some charts. I want to show you some charts. I want to talk back again about the trend. I want to talk back again the trend. Okay, let me talk about the trend before I show you charts, because I'm going to forget. All right. Where are we going right now as the world? We have a problem with global warming. What causes global warming? Burning fuel. Burning all this fuel that people are burning to produce electricity, to run companies, and doing all these things, right? So now we are going into renewable energy. We are going into cleaner energy. We are seeing countries in the West especially who are going big about renewable energy. So we know that all the brands are coming in with cars that are now using electricity. So why shouldn't you buy Tesla? Why shouldn't you buy Tesla? Why shouldn't you buy Tesla? A company that manufactures electric vehicles and have been doing so for many years, right? You don't have to be the billionaire. You just have to buy what the billionaire is doing. You just have to buy what the billionaire is doing. There's a trend right now. We are getting rid of burning fuel and burning fossils and burning all these things so that we can get cleaner air and improve our planet, because our planet is warming up faster than it has ever been in the last 50 years. The poles are warming up faster. Antarctica is warming up faster than it has done in the last 50 years. We know that there is global warming summits that are going out there in the world, global warming summits that are going out there in the world. So we know there's a trend that is happening. We know that BMW, Mercedes, all the big guns, they are now manufacturing, have been in the quite actually few years, have been manufacturing electric vehicles. We know that the laws are going to change around the cars. In London, if you enter central London and you go into the London, if your car is not an electric car, they charge you a tariff. they charge you a tariff based on how much fuel, based on how much emissions you are producing. So people in London right now, when they buy a car, they check the car, how much of emissions is this car emitting into the atmosphere or into the air. If it's a lot, the UK government is going to charge you to use their roads in central London. So we know that in Europe right now, things are changing. We know that we are going electricity. We know that we are futuristic. That's what's happening right now. So why shouldn't you buy Tesla if you are buying stocks, right? Remember, guys, I don't invest in stocks. I don't teach stocks, okay? There's people that do that. I'm just showing you how people who are smart get rich. I'm just showing you how people who are smart get rich. You follow the trend. You watch the trend. You see what's happening. Look at Facebook, what Facebook is doing by launching Meta. They know that right now there's a huge topic when it comes to the what is it now? Metaverse. They know that there is a big thing now, what is coming to the metaverse, that we're no longer going to be sitting, having conversation face to face. Right now, I am not spending anything to be talking to you. I'm not spending anything. I didn't book a venue and pay fees to book a venue so that I can have a chat and speak to you about the topics that I'm speaking to you. I'm sitting in my house and I'm having a conversation with you wherever you are in the comfort of your own space. You didn't have to pay petrol and go there to the venue that I would have booked, because that's where we are. We are becoming a digital generation. And the people that refuse to change are the people that are going to be left behind, because when the change is coming, you cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. So we are in a digital age where people are going to meet up, even for social meetings. You will be in your own space. You'll be meeting up with your friend or as avatars and shake hands as avatars. It's already there. It's just not booming. It's starting. That's where you come in. Any company that does metaverse products in cryptocurrency, that's where we want to buy. Even in the real world, any company that positions themselves into that, which Facebook is already doing or Meta is already doing, bringing all the social aspect of it and making it digitalized. So why not buy such companies, all right? Why not get paid for the companies that you are in their platforms? Why not buy those companies? The good thing about buying stock, guys, please research how to do these things. The good thing about buying stock and companies is that you don't have to have a lot of money, because you are able to buy shares. If shares are still affordable, you are able to buy a particular company with amount of shares that is starting up, or companies that are going in a different direction or taking up a different direction. Remember that change will always make people uncomfortable. They first have to feel uncomfortable before they adopt it. And then once they adopt it, then there will be a market boom. And those that came in earlier are the ones that always make money. People that invested into internet companies early on, IBM, Microsoft, people that invested in those companies made tons and tons of millions of dollars. But they're not CEOs of Microsoft or IBM. Like I'm saying, you don't have to be a CEO. You just have to follow the company. What is the company doing? Do I believe in this company? Can I buy this company? All right, let's go back to Warren Buffett and Robert Kiyosaki. When you go back to Robert Kiyosaki, when you go back to Warren Buffett, you are going back to guys that understood when to time the market and when to buy the market. And that's what we are talking about today. Okay, that's what we are talking about today. Whenever there is fear in the market, you just have to wait for the fear to settle down. Once it settles down, that's when you come in, right? I'm going to show you some charts. I'm going to show you some charts with you quickly. All right. So you might be seeing my side. Don't mind my side of my face, because I am looking at my second screen. That's what I want to show you. If you do not understand the charts, do not worry about it, okay? Don't worry about the charts. Just listen to what I'm saying. Don't feel intimidated by the charts that I'll be showing you right now, okay? If you don't understand the charts, don't worry about it. Just pay attention to what I'm saying, okay, or what I'm doing. I want to show you. I want to show you something. Let me start with the S&P 500. S&P 500. It's the top 500 companies stocks in the United States. Okay, so I'm going to simplify this. Don't mind the chart or anything. I'm just going to simplify it. Since last year November, which is 2021, the markets have been crashing. Okay, the S&P 500 also took a dip of about 24%. Okay, so meaning that majority of the companies either dropped 25% on average or even lower or below. All right, most of the companies, and we'll look at those companies, some of those companies. Okay, so they took a huge dump because there was a lot of panic. All right, after everything that happened last year, post-COVID, when the market went crazy, because the market went crazy, the bubble had to pop at some point. When you inflate the market and you inflate and inflate and inflate, the bubble has to pop at some point. When the bubble pops, it is when you sit back, you relax, you assess the market. Okay, you assess the market, that when is a good opportunity for me to come in, right? So good opportunities to come in were around these areas over here. Okay. In crypto, again, same thing. I started speaking to my students and I was telling them that I'm starting to buy back into the market in increments, right? I'm starting to buy back in the market. I'm still holding some of the stable coins, right? I haven't bought completely into the market because somebody asked me on the comments, do I think that Bitcoin has reached its low? I don't know if it has reached its low, but what I know is that it was very low. It is very low even right now. So if it is low and it has gone down that much, then why shouldn't I buy gradually? If it drops lower, I buy. If it drops lower, I buy, right? Because we are no longer buying a dip now. It has been a crash. It's no longer a dip anymore. It's been a crash, okay? So good opportunity to be buying was around here, where I've highlighted. Okay, so now I want to show you the previous recessions or the previous global meltdown. I'll start recently with the 2008 recession. Okay, the Great Recession. No, not the Great Recession, the COVID recession. Okay, or the COVID meltdown. Okay, so March 2020, we saw markets coming down, right? We saw market coming down and crashing completely. I'm going to attend to your questions when I'm done, guys. Stay on board. I can see all your questions. I'm going to attend to those questions when I'm done. Just let's do the presentation for now, or the streaming for now. 2020, March 2020, COVID hit. There was a lot of panic in the market. A lot of companies had to close trading. There was no income. There was nothing in the market. The S&P 500 dropped 36%. Okay? Crypto. Let's look at Bitcoin. March 2020. Okay? Just want to quickly show you how I made my money. No magic. What I'm sharing with you guys is not a secret. It's not a secret formula. It's not all those things. You know, I've realized that I must not like money enough. I like money, don't get me wrong. I like money, but I think I don't like it enough. Because if I really, really, really liked money, I would have been sure I would have been selling my product and packaging it and telling people about a secret formula, secret this. Have you seen Americans and Europeans market themselves, right? Have you seen those guys market themselves? Go to any, if you're in Forex, go to any website that is famous from the UK or from the US, Learn Forex or something like that, I think. At some point they were calling, who here have ever received calls from UK? People telling you about the markets. Do you want to learn the markets? Do you want to learn Forex? Do you want to learn? It's because even those people, they're taking opportunities of the trend or what's happening in the world, right? So I must not like money enough. I've figured that I must not like it enough because I could have been packaging. I don't even advertise my company, Royal Crypto, where I teach about cryptocurrencies, right? Because I do want to manage the people that I'm teaching. The smaller the group, the better for me, because then they can get my attention and have the value. So I don't market it as much. Maybe I will, but I don't market it as much. Okay, March 2020, Bitcoin dropped. Bitcoin dropped about 61%. Okay, 61%. It's a crash. If Bitcoin drops 61%, it's a crash because there was a panic, right? There was a panic. Myself and my students, we came back into the market when the price of Bitcoin was 4,500. Okay, 4,500 after the crash. The lowest that it went down to was about $4,000 or $3,000, depending on what chart you are looking at. Other charts went down to about $3,000. Okay. My students and myself, we came back at 4,500. Now, do not misunderstand what I'm saying to bragging. Okay. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying to bragging. I want you to get that out of your head and realize that I'm sharing with you valuable information that you would pay thousands and thousands of rands to get. Because I am not here to try to make money. I have made my money. I'm not here to try to make money. I have made my money and I continue to do so. Right? So I'm here to share some knowledge with you that maybe after this webinar, after this live streaming tonight, you can reflect on yourself and say, what is it that you want to achieve in the next? Remember, I've been in the market since 2016. Even Bitcoin I started in 2016. All right. I've been in the market since 2016. So the experience that I'm sharing with you, it's a 6-7 year experience. I didn't make my money in 1 year, 2 years. Okay. With cryptocurrency, it depends how you time it. You can make money in 2 years. You can make money in a year, depending on how you time it. If you're just coming in just before the bull run hits, you can make money. But you might be misled to thinking that this is a quick, rich scheme, which it ain't. Keep sharing the broadcast, guys. Share with your people. Let's share the broadcast. All right. So my students and myself, we bought at 4,500. Those that were there in March 2020. I later on acquired more students that came in later on. Okay. So to the highest point since then, Bitcoin reached 1,435%. Right? 1,425% from the crash of March 2020. In 2020, when the country was shut down, when the country was in lockdown, it is the year that I made most of the money that I've ever made in the markets. More than 2017, when the markets were booming in 2017. All right. 2020 was my biggest year of making money. Okay, in the market. So that's Bitcoin. Let me go back to SMPS. Now, COVID, where's SMPS? Hold on. Now, COVID, the market dropped 36%. This is now stock. Stock market dropped 26% to the highest back in November last year. It went up 121%, right? It means that if I invested R1 million in one company, that gave me more than 100. Remember, this is grouped together. then there is still individual companies that did better than this 121% that you're looking at. So these are companies that are grouped together. Okay. We'll look at some of the companies individually so that you can see how much potentially people could make, right? If I invested R1 million, it means that I came out with over 100% of my money. If I invested 10 rands, depending if I could buy a share with 10 rands, like I bought the ARC share at 3 rands, then you know that in the next, I don't know, 10 years or so, we'll see how much it will go up. We'll see how much it will go up. ARC is the one that owns Time Bank. We'll see how much that it will go up. Okay. So what I'm trying to show you, I'm not trying to show you how to make money tomorrow or in the next 2 weeks by me buying or renting a Lamborghini and telling you that the markets are paying. No, I'm sharing content and valuable information with you that's going to help you out and your children and your family and your nephews and your uncles and whoever that you might be responsible of. Okay. Now that was 2020 recession. Let's look at 2008, the Great Recession. Okay. Let's look at 2008, the Great Recession. So 2008, the Great Recession lasted for about a whole year when it started peaking, when it started dropping from the previous year of 2007, all the way down to the lowest point, which was in March 2009, right? So the stock market, including South Africa, including wherever stock that you're talking about, there was a global economic meltdown. It was the Great Depression of 2008, right? So the S&P 500 went down 57%. Now, in crypto, some coins, they can go down 70%. Some coins can go down 70% and rebounds. In crypto, 57%, uyadlala baba, into encane lezi, into encane lezi. Still small things, right? So, but in traditional markets, it is a huge crash. It is a huge crash, right? So that was a 57% drop. Okay. Now, let's look at to the next drop of 2020, right? To the next drop of 2020, I mean, to the next high, just before the drop of 2020. That was a 410%, right? 410% grouped. Other companies individually, they had more. Other companies individually, they had more. The beautiful thing is that you can invest in different companies, right? You can invest in Meta. I don't know how to invest in Meta as yet, Facebook. Like I said, I don't do stock. You know, every now and then, I'm just a general investor. I just like money. I like finances. I like technology. So that's who I am, and that's where I am. I like finding different streams of income. That's what I like doing. Okay. So that's who I am. And I'm hoping that you guys will find value in what I'm sharing with you today. Okay. So that's a 410% increase from the previous, from the 2008 meltdown to the top just before the March 2020. Let's look at the early recession of 2000, right? Let's look at the early recession of 2000. When the market started dropping from 2000, the year 2000, and all the way down to about 2002 or so, right? So remember I said when the markets crash and there's panic, you should be excited because you need to wait for the bubble. You need to wait for the dust to settle. By waiting for the dust to settle, I'm saying when the markets usually crash, they will also at some point start going sideways just to cool things up and then continue on their big journey. So if you look at this cooling down period, if I can highlight it for you, if I can find my brush, if I can highlight it for you. So if you look at this cooling down period here, right? So you look at this cooling period here. This is from the bottom. This was in July 2002, before the market started really taking off. It was in May 2003. So a few months of cooling off that happened before the market started picking up and going up higher again, right? So the 2000 depression, the early depression that happened in the market, messed up my things now. Okay. The drop was about 51%. Okay. So the drop was about 51%. Now, I follow Robert Kiyosaki. And Robert Kiyosaki, this is the time that he made money, because this is the time that he was investing in property. And this is the time that banks were approaching him to say, hey, we want to give you money with zero interest rates. Zero interest rates, because times were bad at that time, right? So we want to give you money with zero interest rates. He went on and bought hotels. He went on and bought property with zero interest rates. He went on and bought stock, went on and bought gold and silver, right? Because it is those times when there is a huge economic meltdown, when there is a huge panic. It is when you just wait on the sideline and say, I'm going to wait on the sideline. I'm going to wait for the dust to settle. Then I'm going to come in. But when you come in, you need to know where the trend is going. You need to know what exactly are you buying. Well, when the market crashes, almost everything will rebound. Almost everything will rebound. But you need to look for those companies that you know that these companies are companies that I can see value in the next 5 years, in the next 6 years, in the next 10 years, that I can find value and I can see value in those companies, right? So let's quickly have a look at Tesla, right? I spoke about trying to reduce emissions. Then I want to show you the stock, the Tesla stock, how crazy it is, right? How crazy. I think on easy equities, under the easy equities dollar, the dollar markets, you can be able to buy Tesla. Because I know some people are going to be asking me. Let me log into my easy equities, just insert my two-factor authenticator. I don't like being hacked. Like I said, I am a tech guy. I love technology, so I don't like hacking. People are going to try to hack me. So I always put two-factor authenticator on everything I do. All right. So easy equities USD, Tesla. Tesla is here. So you are able to buy even the abroad stocks on easy equities. I think that's the famous one here in South Africa. Like I said, I don't do stocks that much, but I know what I want to buy. So I just log in, buy what I want to buy, forget about it for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Okay. So if you look at Tesla, in the last 1 month, they did a 32% gain, right? In the last month, they did it, excuse me. In the last month, they did a 32% gain. Why did they do a 32% gain? Because the markets have been dropping since November last year, okay? The markets did drop from November last year. So now this is an individual stock. So November last year, Tesla went down 50%. Okay, Tesla went down 50%, and now actually it started picking up this month, if I'm not mistaken. Started really picking up this month on the 6th of July this month. Okay, when most of the other markets were also starting to pick up. And since July, last month, July, it's about 49% increase gain. Easy, right? I might make it sound easy, But if you didn't do your homework, it's not going to be easy. I want to buy a company that is doing well and a company that is looking into doing things in the future. We have a crisis of global warming, like I said. For those of you that just came in, we have a crisis of global warming. Countries are trying to reduce emissions of fuel. So if there's a company that dedicates its time in doing that, I want to buy into that company, right? So Tesla. So it's one of the ones that I was just looking at, okay, Tesla. Back on Easy Equities, you'll see that the stock of Tesla has been doing well. You can be able to buy. Remember when there was a trend of online purchasing? In the past, people didn't believe in online purchasing, but Amazon came through, changed the game. In the last 1 month, Amazon is 25% up. 25% up. Okay, so that's how you make your money, because you follow the trend. There's people that bought Amazon stock way back, right? And right now they too, as Amazon is a huge company, they too, they are owned as a billionaire, they too are millionaires by just buying the stock and holding the stock. So let's look into where are we going. Hence, for me, crypto is the big deal, because we are going digital. Let me tell you what's going to happen in the future. Countries are going to digitalize their currencies. You're going to have a dollar, and you're going to have a dollar that is digitalized. Once they find stability, it's either those coins or those currencies are going to be backed by either gold, or they're going to be backed by Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to start finding stability. Bitcoin will no longer be dropping 80% whenever they crash, right? We're going to start finding, just like the stock markets, we're going to start finding the crash going down to about 50%, 40%, 30%, so that countries, if they want to create, because the blockchain technology is there, there's countries that are going to create their own digital currencies. There's countries that are going to digitalize everything that they do, and they're going to force everybody to participate in that. If you look at the history of money, I don't want to talk about that. If you look at the history of money from mortar, brick, in the olden days, butter days, where I have a kettle and I need maize, I'll sell you my kettle, you give me maize. That's what the people knew at that time, right? That's what they knew at that time, that this is what I have, this is what I need. The money changed, or the routine of money changed, came in precious metals. All of a sudden, kettle meant squat if you don't have silver, or kettle meant squat if you don't have gold. All of a sudden, there was that exchange of metal, precious metals, silver, gold, and people were buying using those ways of buying. Money changed. Then there was paper money. Whether you do not want to change, you will be left behind. There was paper money. Money changed. There was plastic money, whereby now the banks were issuing these cards that were no longer, that people didn't know. Because in the olden days, you were writing a checkbook. When was the last time that you saw a checkbook? I haven't seen a checkbook in many years. My son does not know what a checkbook is. He's 12 years, he does not know what a checkbook is, because there was a trend. Money keeps evolving, right? So there was paper, because back then people used to go into a bank, fill out these things and deposit checks and get the money out. Then there was an introduction of plastic money, which was the cards that we are still using, right? Then there was the internet. Then there was EFT, which is digital transfers. that I don't have to go into a bank and deposit money into your account. I can just log in and do it digitally, right? Then there was iPhone, right? Then there was iPhone, there's Apple Pay. I don't even carry a card anymore because I can tap with my iPhone and tap and make a purchase. I can tap with my watch, my Apple Watch. Don't have it now. I can tap with my Apple Watch and make a purchase in store. And it's always fascinating to see how people react to that. Eh? Uthepile ka watch. Uthepa ka watch instead. Do you understand? So the trend is going. So we are now digitalizing our currencies. So why shouldn't you buy Bitcoin? Why shouldn't you buy Ethereum, one of the big coins out there, particularly Bitcoin? Why shouldn't you buy Bitcoin? Because that's where we are going, guys. When I started buying Bitcoin, Bitcoin was 3,000 rands. My first purchase, Bitcoin was 3,000 rands. Bitcoin reached 1 million. Just giving you an example. 3,000 rands turned into 1 million in a space of 6 years. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? All right, guys. So I don't want to take too long. I thought I should just share valuable information with you. So Tesla, I'm going to leave the stock market now. Before I do so, let me say this to you again, that in the beginning, it was difficult for people like Warren Buffett and other people that were investing in the stock market, because Wall Street, we all know Wall Street, people, they needed to go there to make their trades, show some papers. It was like a madhouse auction, sort of like an auction madhouse. And it was difficult for them. It is easy for us. The difference is laziness. Laziness. If you are lazy and you don't want to research, you don't want to learn new ways of making money, then you're not going to make any money. You're going to always be complaining about the government, complaining about other people, be envious about other people, right? It is a lot easier for us now to make money. It is a lot easier for us now to raise billionaires in dollars, Because if you think about the Forex market, before internet, before the retail investor was allowed to come into the Forex market, what was happening there? Do you understand? It was difficult. It was institutional banks, institutional companies that were only trading in the Forex market. It became difficult for people. The internet came through, things changed. Now I can sit at home on my laptop, on my phone, on my tablet, and trade the stock market, the biggest market, financial market there is out there. I can do that. The problem we are dealing with now is laziness. It is people that do not want to change. It is people that are lazy. Hence, they are falling victim to all these scams that are happening around, because people do not want to invest in themselves. They do not want to research for themselves. They follow the saying, it's still as good as it was back then. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. That saying is still good. I have a philosophy or a mindset that I have. If somebody comes into my inbox and they promise me that they are trading Forex or crypto, and they are saying to me that they've got this special software, that is trading for them and making them 200% gains. You just have to deposit 5,000 rands and then you can have 150,000 rands in 7 days or in 14 days. Why in the world would you share that with me if you had such a software? You mean to tell me that you will waste your time, inbox a stranger from Africa, that you want him to have access to this software so that he can change his life? Come on. So you need to be reasonable when you are dealing with people that always promise things that seem to be too good to be true. You just need to be careful how you deal with those people. No one in their right mind is going to have a major. It's like me having a printing machine at home that prints money. And I can print as much money and it's legit. Then I go and approach a stranger somewhere and say, hey, Bafana, let's come here. Let's print money, improve your lifestyle. Human beings are just not that good. Human beings are just not that good. I don't care what you say. Human beings generally are just not that good. So you need to think before you fall victim to scammers, fall victim to Lamborghinis, fall victim to Ferraris, fall victim to fake houses and fake lifestyles. Okay. Do your due diligence. Study, research, look for people that are doing things the correct way. Follow. I've got followers that never joined my course for 3 years. Somebody will come to me and say, I've been following you for the last 3 years. I've been following you for years. And I think it's time for me now to start investing, or it is time for me now to join your class, because I have a long trail. I've got content that I've been sharing, and some of the guys that are doing well that are also I follow here on Facebook that are doing well in crypto, that are doing well also in Forex. These are guys that you won't find flashing around money, flashing around all these things, carrying a big bag of Louis Vuitton full of money. What for? What good is that going to do for the next person? What for? If I show any material things that I own, I only do it because of inspiration. And I don't do it. What I show, it's actually probably 10% of what I possess. I don't show a lot because I don't want people to be hooked up in material things rather than being hooked up in the knowledge that they can gain in order for them to get those material things. I hope you understand it and it makes sense. So I'm saying this to say this, that it is actually much easier for us to make money. The digital age, we are the digital age. It is much easier for us to make money than the Warren Buffetts and the Robert Kiyosakis and the Napoleon Hills and all these guys that invested in the markets or invested somehow many years ago. It is quite easier for us to do so. And it is quite quicker also for us to do so because of the information that is at our disposal. Let's use the information at our disposal. Use your data for constructive things, right? Humor is good. You can go there and watch humorous broadcasting. I used to think that people don't have data in South Africa. When I started my YouTube channel, I used to think that they do not have data until I saw the shows that people watch. Shows about celebrities, gossip. Those people are watching those things religiously. Religiously, they are watching those shows. But when you speak about financial markets, they don't want to. When you speak about constructive things, they don't watch your channel, right? They don't watch your channel. I've got 115 people viewing right now. My channel has 15,000 people. My Facebook, just on Facebook, I've got 15,000 followers. There's 115 right now. But if I was going to talk about some celebrity and some things that adults do in the bedroom, you would have seen. You would have seen. Right. Okay, guys. Having said that, thank you for taking your time to join this live stream. Thank you for taking your time to join this live stream. Let me close so that I can answer your questions. Okay. Let me close so that I can answer your questions. Let me look into crypto for a while. Okay. Let me just go into crypto for now. Dealing with Bitcoin. This is my bread and butter. Okay. I invest in stock. I invest in Forex. I trade in Forex, but cryptocurrency is my bread and butter. All right. Is my bread and butter. Cryptocurrency since November last year. Bitcoin, we dropped 74%. Okay. 74%. Now, that is a crash. It's not a dip. Okay. It's a crash, it's not a dip. Remember, I spoke about when the markets go down, you don't panic, you wait for a cooling period to cool off. There's two things that can happen right now. It looks like Bitcoin is cooling down, cooling off after the big drop, or it can be preparing itself to drop even further. To drop even further, right? Could be preparing itself to drop even further. In the crypto language, we say this is a flag that usually breaks on the downside, okay? In the crypto, we say that this is a flag. It is a pattern that is used to analyze the market for dropping on the downside, okay? So there's other factors that then we have to look at. If we are looking at factors like these, we have to look at how much crypto has dropped, and we have to look at how much it has dropped in the past and how it reacted, okay? Then, because it is BTC against the dollar, then we have to look at the dollar itself. If I can find the dollar. Then we have to look at the dollar itself. And the dollar has been on the rise. Okay? The dollar has been on the rise. At some point, hold on. At some point, the bubble has to pop. Okay? At some point, the bubble has to pop because dollar has been on a massive ride. Okay? Since January 2020. January 2021. Since Jan 2021. It's been over a year and 6 months, over a year and 7 months. It's been on the rise, okay? By 22%. But this does not matter. Don't just think that I would have only made 22%. This is just the dollar index that I'm analyzing. But this shows you that the dollar has been on a rise for quite some time. At some point, the dollar has to pop. And when the dollar pops and the risk of dollars getting higher and higher, like we can see now, the risk was higher and higher, then it started to cool off, it started to retrace quite a little bit, okay? And hence why you're finding that Bitcoin and other coins are also responding to that, okay? So Bitcoin and other coins are also responding to that because they've also been going down, and now it looks like they're getting some form of a relief going on the upside, okay? So we know that the dollar at some point has been going high, okay? That is one factor. We know that inflation has been going high also. We know that inflation has been going high. The United States inflation has been going high. It has reached a high that we haven't seen since 1995. We know that at some point something has to give, okay? At some point something has to give. And we know that historically, Bitcoin, after the big bull run, the following year, Bitcoin tends to just go down and stay down. And then this is when we start to accumulate, right? After converting our cryptocurrencies into stable coins, we're holding the dollar, and then it accumulates. As it's going down, we start accumulating. So to me, I don't see a reason why I shouldn't buy here. Even if Bitcoin was to go another another 32% down to about $15,000 to about $15,000. It still wouldn't have been a bad buy. By saying that, generally Bitcoin drops about 80% after a bull run. Now, 80% is about $13,000 or so, right? Even if Bitcoin were to go down to $13,000, buying where I bought here, it is not a bad buy. Because even if it goes even lower, I will still be able to buy because I'm still holding some dollars. So I didn't go all in into the market. I'm still holding some dollars. So I will still be able to buy. Okay. So this is why I mean by you need to know when to buy. I'm going to talk only about Bitcoin because it is the biggest currency. I'm not going to tell you about other coins. You guys have to go and research yourself, those coins, right? Because my students, they pay me information to talk to them about other coins that I'm looking into, okay? So I'm not going to talk about other coins. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin only. Maybe I'll touch on ADA because I love ADA. Cardano, okay? I love Cardano. Cardano is one of the coins that I bought very, very, very early. It's one of the coins that made me a lot of money. This coin here. So Cardano dropped 86%. What more do you require of a coin to drop? So Cardano is down 86%. Now, after the chaos, after the panic, after all these things that have been happening, we are cooling down, right? So we are now cooling down. This is Cardano or ADA. We are now cooling down. To me, I don't see Cardano going lower. If it does, I don't see it going too much backwards. Why do I speak about Cardano? Research who's the owner of Cardano, what they have done for the Ethereum platform, and what are their plans of doing, right? So by researching who's the owner, what problem are they solving, what are they doing, what is their roadmap, what is their white paper, then from there you can make decisions to know that how you can invest into the markets, okay? So Cardano is down. Why wouldn't you buy Cardano when it's this low rather than buying it when it's here? When the hype is there, everybody's talking about Bitcoin, everybody's talking about this and that, right? I had somebody that approached me. I did a post and I said, there's a coin that I bought that gave me 3,000% gains. And a few coins, including Cardano itself, okay? Including Cardano itself. Let me go to the other chart where I've marked when I bought this coin. Okay, so my first entry of Cardano was around 0.05 cents. 0.05 cents of a dollar. Okay, the highest that Cardano gave me was a 6,430% gains. 6,430% gains. Why in the world did I buy Cardano at that low price with my first entry? Because I did my research. I knew that this coin is valued, its value, it's higher than what the price was at that particular time, based on the research that I did. All right. My second entry, which was a year later, gave me a 903%. Okay? Just want to remember, I'm not bragging here. Just want to do some calculation for you. Okay? 100,000 rands plus 903%. It's a cool million rands. Right? 100,000 rands plus 6,000%. It's a cool 6.1 million rands. Now, when I invested in ADA, not a lot of people were talking about Cardano. No. People did not even know it existed, most of them. So now this guy came to my course and he says to me, all the course that I have on my course, he has those coins. He thought I was going to give him coins, that I'm going to give him 3,000%. Because all these coins, I'm not teaching him anything new. He has all those coins. My question to him was, when did you buy those coins? Didn't answer me. Because he bought them when people will start talking about those coins. I don't buy coins when people are talking about them. No. That's how I make my money. That's how smart people make money. That's how people find gems, hidden gems, finding trends and following the trends. That's why I bought Time Bank. Well, in the next 10 years, everybody will be talking about Time Bank this, Time Bank that, Time Bank this. I'll be just smiling and going to the bank for my money. So that's how you become an investment person. That's how you invest. Okay. So I like Cardano. I gave you Cardano. Cardano is down, completely down. I believe that this project still has a lot to give. Personally, I believe that this project still has a lot to give. So I wouldn't see myself, why shouldn't I buy Cardano? Now, please be careful of the hype of coins that have no value. Coins that people are just hyping up because they want to make money. When you buy coins that have value, coins that have a real problem that they are solving. Because even next year, towards the next Bitcoin halving that will be happening in 2023? I think so. When is the next Bitcoin halving? Bitcoin halving. The next Bitcoin halving is in May 2024. Okay. So we are now in May 2022. You've got an opportunity to get into the market 2 years to 3 years ahead of others, because this is what's going to happen. Bitcoin is going to go through a process that we call halving, where the production of Bitcoin is halved. Okay? Where the production of Bitcoin is halved. When the production of Bitcoin is halved, the supply of Bitcoin becomes very scarce because people are holding on. Okay? People are holding on. Now, if it's difficult to mine Bitcoins, it's going to be extremely hard for people to sell their Bitcoins. Then it's going to push their demand. Okay? When it pushes the demand of Bitcoin, you can expect that in November, December 2024 to December 2025, we're going to be having a bull market run. So why do you want to buy in 2025? Why do you want to buy in 2025? So you have to buy today. Even Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. Research other coins that you can buy. Okay? Buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. I love my Ethereum. I love my Ethereum. I love my Ethereum. Ethereum, 81% down. 81% down. So why wouldn't I buy Ethereum today? How much more do you want it to go down? How much more do you want it to go down? 81% down. Already, when all the other markets were starting to pick up, it went to about 88% up. Right now, 68% up. Easy 50% up. That's how I make my money. No gimmicks, no jokes. The only thing I won't give you on this webinar is the gems, the smaller coins that don't cost a lot that I buy early. I bought ADA at 0.05%. Okay? Back then, when the rand was not 17 rands to $1. But for the sake of the example, I'll just do it with today's currency exchange. 0.05%. When one ADA was 83 cents rand, 83 cents. One ADA was 83 cents when I bought it. At its highest, it was $3, which was 49 rands. Imagine buying a coin at the price of 83 cents and selling it at the price of 50, even 10 rands. Imagine buying a coin like that. That's how you become rich, and that's how you become wealthy, and that's how you make money. You have to exercise patience. You have to exercise knowledge, and you have to exercise diligence. And that's how you make your money. Not this manga that you're seeing on social media. All right. Not this manga. Okay, guys, let me close it. Way too much. I normally do 1 hour only. Let me close it and get to your questions, okay? Quickly, let me get to your questions. Did you guys find value in what I'm teaching or what I'm sharing with you? I hope you do. All right. Let me get to your questions quickly. Okay, here's a question. Mr. T, do you prefer offshore brokers or local brokers? Seems like our brokers are not fully regulated. You know what's happening in South Africa? In South Africa, everything is, people are taking opportunities, right? In South Africa, people are just taking opportunities. They want to make a quick buck, and they just do exchanges and brokers and all these things that are not regulated. And you find yourself that you are stuck in a broker that you are trading in. You have money in there, and all of a sudden they don't fulfill your withdrawals. They close their account. They do all sorts of things. Okay. Yes, I don't trade with local brokers. I don't trade with local brokers. I trade with brokers that I know that they've got a history, a good history, that are regulated in other countries, in the US, in the UK, in Australia. So brokers that do have a good history. I know that a lot of people are using, is it FX? I can't remember. I think it's FX or something like that. I use Traders Way. Been using it for a few years when it comes to Bitcoin. I mean to the Forex markets. What was the other one I was using also? I'm forgetting now. I haven't been on Forex. I haven't been active on Forex. So I forgot that also. So yeah, I personally prefer foreign. But remember, guys, I'm not into Forex. So I don't know what's the trend now, what's happening now, and what's going on right now. But yeah, that's where I am. Okay. All right. Somebody says that they are here to learn about alternative ways of making money. Lucas, I hope that you have gained something out of the webinar that we are sharing today. I hope you have gained something out of this webinar today. What's the correlation between Bitcoin and gold? What's the correlation? The only correlation is the dollar. All right. The correlation between the two is the dollar. The dollar is being traded. I mean, the gold is traded against the dollar. Bitcoin, if you are trading it against the dollar, then the correlation will be there. If the dollar is strong, then gold will drop and Bitcoin will drop. When the dollar settles down or the dollar becomes weaker, then it's going to increase. Gold is going to go higher and Bitcoin is going to go higher. So the correlation that I know or I see, it is gold. Okay. Somebody says, what would be massive gains? I think I explained massive gains. How about 6,000%? So how about 6,000%, Tiamo? Those are massive gains, okay? These are gains that you find in cryptocurrency. In the traditional markets, you don't find easily your 6,000% and 7,000% in crypto. We still have that opportunity to get those gains. But remember, with big gains, there's also big losses, especially when you're coming at the wrong time into the market. You're going to pay heavily for coming at the wrong time into the market. So just be careful about that, all right? Long-term trading is the only way, Fred, to the moon. Okay, what's your take on technical and fundamental analysis and how one can use fundamentals such as MPC reports, non-farm payroll reports in advantage to place position in Forex stocks? Well, at first, I did not like fundamentals, okay? Masigo, I did not like fundamentals. I don't think I didn't like them. I think I didn't understand fundamentals. I didn't understand how important they are into moving the markets. Recently, with the interest rates that USA was going to be raising interest rates to 1.5%, from 1.25 to 1.5%, if I remember correctly. I knew that there was going to be an increase. The price was going to increase. FOMC came out, the meeting that came out with FOMC. I don't know why people were selling, because I knew it was going to go up, right? Because now, if the interest rates are being raised, it means that more people right now are able to ask for loans for better interest. I mean, they are able to take credit for better interest, right? So more people, if you have an investment, for example, if you have an investment, you are getting better interest rates, okay? So you're most likely not going to be taking your money away, because what the government, the US is trying to do is trying to keep the people for keeping the dollar, okay? They increase the interest rates. They know that, okay, people are going to now remove money from other markets like gold and all these other places. They want to come back and invest into the dollar for those better interest rates, okay? To gaining better interest rates. Inflation goes high and all of those things. So fundamentals are important. In crypto, you cannot do crypto without fundamentals, because with fundamentals, you know what the news are happening around when it comes to cryptocurrency. So for me, that is important. I think for you to be a solid trader in Forex, you need to learn those things and give yourself time to learn those things. Okay. Tiamo says, I read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's such a powerful book. Oh yeah, definitely. Very powerful book. Okay. Somebody says, can you also buy Rivian? I'm not too sure what that is. Is it a stock? Is it a company? Not too sure what that is. I will have to research it to see if it's something that I would want to invest and buy in it. Okay. Then somebody concurs with me saying that Choma says that even in crypto, we follow the trends. We definitely do. We follow the trends, because if you don't follow the trends, you don't want to make it in crypto if you don't follow the trend. Okay. Someone says their hope is recorded. I'm suffering from network problems. Yeah. No. Definitely. You'll still be able to find it on Facebook, find it on, I'm streaming also on YouTube. You'll find it also on YouTube. Brenda says, thanks for sharing. Not a problem. Thanks for sharing, Lucas. Not a problem. I won't give you free coins to buy. Paramani. My students will kill me. I won't give you a few coins to buy, but I gave you a formula. I gave you a formula on what to look out for when you are researching. I gave you ADA, which is beside Bitcoin and Ethereum. I gave you ADA. So if you're not already invested in ADA, it's a good opportunity to invest in ADA. But I'm not going to give you coins. My students will kill me. Okay. Somebody's late. I hope you caught up. Somebody's watching. Okay. Somebody says, can I explain the value or RSI? RSI is just your relative strength indicator. What it does, it just show you if something is overbought or if something is oversold. So if a certain coin that you're buying or a certain currency that you're buying, if it's way oversold, you will find that the RSI will spike or on the top side. That indicates you that the risk is getting higher of investing or of buying that particular asset. It means that the bubble is going to pop sometime. So you just time that and know that this is actually something that is, like I said, gold is oversold, it's overbought in my opinion, and not gold. The dollar is at the risk of popping way too high. Okay, then you know that you can start now position yourself, look for a setup, look for a pattern that gives you an idea that now we are about to change direction, we are going on the downside, and vice versa. If something is oversold, it's right at the bottom on the supply, you know that the RSI is going to be right there at the bottom. That tells you that, hey, we need a relief at some sort, at some time we need a relief, and then you're going to get a relief. Basically, that's what RSI is all about. All right. Somebody says we just downloaded Money Tiamo. I don't know if you are referring to March 2020 or 2017. That was a lot of things. That was a lot of money there. Okay. What are the factors that can take Bitcoin to 11K, 12K, according to your analysis? I did speak about this, okay? I did say that even if Bitcoin goes below 14,000, 13%, 14,000 is that, but it is way too low for it to go down to 10K, 12K, or 10K. You know, a lot of people are calling for 10K. Honestly, I don't think Bitcoin will go down to 10K. Okay, because then historically it will mean that Bitcoin will drop below 80% that we have seen. You know, in the beginning, yes, it was dropping below 80%. It was dropping about, so the rate of dropping is also on an uptrend. Early back in 2013, you know, Bitcoin would drop 90%. Then it will drop later on in the next halving, it will drop 87%. Then it will drop 84%. We dropped 74, 76% now. So for Bitcoin to drop 90%, it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So yeah, that's where I am. Advising on protecting coins. I use stable coins. I use stable coins to protect my coins. Just you need to research what are stable coins, how to buy stable coins. I use stable coins. I don't store them. I'm fighting flu. My voice is giving up now. I don't store them on exchanges. So like I said, I don't have rands anymore. So all my stable coins are held in $1. Excuse me. All my stable coins are in $1, so I don't hold any rands. Okay. And then next question. Okay, Lucas says the mind has been stimulated. The mind has been stimulated, ground softened, and desire instilled. What's next? Because a person like me cannot trade. Then invest long term, right? I've got a course that you can send me an inbox. Let me teach you how to invest. You invest while you are learning. We show you how to invest, and you don't need to be a trader. You don't need to be sitting on the screen and glued to the screen. I think I covered that in this thing today. Don't want to go too back on on everything that I said. Okay. Can you explain how to spot trade in Binance if you are not? I'm not spot trading. There's other people that are doing that. I suggest that you follow them. I don't do futures. I don't do margin trading. I don't do any of those things. I am a long-term investor, period. That's what I do. What's your take on IEC? I can't answer that. I'm not too sure what IEC is. Okay, next halving is 2024. Somebody says there's a solid project here. Is it, what is it called? Thorchain or Trochain? Not too sure. I will research it and see if it's something solid. In which site or wallet can I get all the coins? Binance is the best. Binance is the best. You can get it on Binance. Somebody says they've gained value. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very informative. I'm glad. Super valuable. I'm glad, guys. Time Bank. I bought ARC. Time Bank. What did you buy? I bought ARC, the stock called ARC. Okay, thank you guys for giving me the heads up. I see that you saw a lot of value in what I taught. If you want to join my course, just send me an inbox. I'll send you the details. Just send me an inbox on Facebook. I'll send you the details, or even because you are watching from YouTube, just write in the comment. I'll respond to you if you want to join it. I'm glad that you guys found this very informative. My first investment was 3,000 rands. I think I spoke about it. It was 3,000 rands into crypto. Somebody says, how do I go about, you spoke about laziness. In some cases, I don't think that's the case. How do you go about educating slow learners, like giving them a class as verbally? It's most important. It's mostly not understood. Mostly you have to take time to sit and show. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do now in my course. Okay, that's what I do in my course. I take people from beginner, but even if you go join my course and you have all the material and you don't do anything with the material, that is classified as laziness. Okay, so if the material is there but you don't do anything with the material, I can't force the material, shove it down your mouth. I can't do that. The material is there, the guidance is there, the support group is there. If you don't make use of those things, then there's nothing I can do. Okay, so there's no way that you cannot understand what I teach and how I teach. You can even take an example in this webinar that we're just doing now, these live stream that we're doing now, how I articulate my teaching, okay? How I make examples in things that you can relate to. So, yeah, I get you. I get you. Somebody says, I'm glad, Anel, I'm glad I attended the session. Very insightful. Thank you very much. My class cost 3,000 rands. It's payable in 2 installments of 1.5. It's lifetime. It's video-based. You have access to my material in video forever. You can watch however or many times you want to. We've got a support group in WhatsApp where you can ask questions if you don't understand. There's somebody that I can dedicate to you that will answer your questions if I'm too busy, that will guide you also. All right, I'm truly grateful. Thank you, guys. Jab says, what will take for altcoins not to be dependent on BTC for their pump or dump? Will ETH surpass BTC in terms of market cap? Look, I like facts. I don't like speculation. Okay, Bitcoin is the biggest cryptocurrency there is. It is the mother of them all. Okay, so there has to be something that institutional investors are investing in and trying to make it stable. So Bitcoin is only going to get more stable and more stable, okay? Rather than people thinking that Ethereum is going to surpass Bitcoin, this and this is going to surpass Bitcoin. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Am I saying it will never happen? No. These are the markets. But you must know how much people are putting money, how much institutional investors are putting money into Bitcoin, how much the programmers of Bitcoin are scaling it up and keeping it up there and trying to make it to not only be a store of value, but to also be money that people using on every day of their lives. So to me, Bitcoin will always be there. So if Bitcoin tanks, they also tank. Unfortunately, they are correlated to the mother coin. So if the mother coin tanks or goes down, all the other coins are also going to follow. Just like now, Bitcoin is correlated to the stock market. So when the stock market tanks, Bitcoin also tanks. In the beginning, it was the vice versa, but now it is correlated. Okay. Is it safe to buy Bitcoin on OKX? It's safe to buy Bitcoin on any exchange. Just don't keep it there. Okay. Just don't keep it there. Just buy your exchange, withdraw into your private wallet. I don't know Telcoin. I don't know Telcoin. I will have to research it. Send me an inbox if you want to join my course, guys. Somebody says we want to be students too. Okay. Thank you for doing this. God bless. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. No questions here, just gratitude for dropping these gems at no cost. Yeah. Guys, the information I gave you, somebody can charge you thousands of thousands. If you want to join my course, drop me an inbox. All right, guys. So I'm going to close the live stream right now. I'm going to close the live stream right now. So somebody says, can they have the, go to royalcrypto.net. Okay. I'll write it down here. Visit royalcrypto.net. royalcrypto.net. Okay. And you can always send me an inbox, then I can explain even much more. Okay. You can always send me an inbox. I can explain much more. Okay. Stable coins are coins that we use to hedge against the dropping markets. One of them is called USDC. Another one is called USDT, which is Tether. Binance has their own stable coin also. So these are coins that are pegged to $1, and we use them to hedge ourselves and protect ourselves against the markets when the markets are going down. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to close it right here, guys. Appreciate you for joining this session. Thank you very much for taking time to watch this webinar. I'm going to try to make them as often as I can, and I'm going to try to also promote more of my courses so that you guys can gain some information and learn how to make money. We have no excuse, guys. We live in a digital age. We must make money. We must create millionaires. We must create billionaires. The Warren Buffetts opened up the way for us. The Robert Kiyosaki's, they opened up the way for us. So the Motsepe's opened up the way for us. So we just have to take this thing to the next level. Okay. We just have to take it to the next level. I wish you guys a very blessed night. Wish you guys everything that you do will prosper, and everything that you put your hand and mind into it will prosper. Love you. Peace.